So I know it's time to show. It's the only vibe to go. I do believe it. Do you believe it? I said, are you a believer till the end? When your funds are low, can you believe in it again? No longer ever questioning yourself if you believe it though. You never questioning yourself if you believe it though. You know the deal, please don't take the L. Never taking no L's if the Lord helps me, oh Lord. Never taking no L's if they will be so long.
Apologies, everybody. So turns out I was on mute, but we'll be starting soon. So this is going out to YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, even my old channel. Make sure you subscribe to the new Tokemetrics channel, guys. This is the main channel where we're putting out all the information. Today we have a packed agenda. So first up, we have shout outs. So shout out to the first people on the live stream. First person was Iceberg. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. Crypto Man in the house. Hello, Hamid. How are you? Bradley, Tabasumi, Alice. Hey, Alice, how are you? Oh, by the way, Alice, Luka Doncic is killing it. Killing it. He's having a heck of a season. Alice is a longtime subscriber and also was part of my private group and a big fan of Luka Doncic. He's from Slovenia. Hey, Tyler, how are you? Sound is back on. If anybody else has any sound issues, just comment in the chats. We'll take care of it. Hello, Bitcoin Prophet. What's up? D111. I'm doing well. Thank you. Crip Shotter. Hello. True African 25. How are you? Nico, how are you? How are you? Okay, so we have lots of things to cover today. So first up, as mentioned earlier, for those who maybe didn't hear it, maybe I was on mute, we're doing the Tokemetrics limited launch this month. We're trying to do it by the end of the month. We'll be launching Tokemetrics to about 1,000 people, maybe more. Let's say 1,000 to 2,000 people only. This will be an early access, basically a beta test. We've been working on this for almost a year now, and I think we're good to go. We want to try this out with a few people. We think we're about to change the crypto world by bringing human capital, data, and machine learning together to do something that hasn't really been done before at the stage, right? So for those who recall my spreadsheet, this is basically that on steroids. This with human experts like Bill and our team from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, everywhere, and the machine learning. We'll give you a preview of the platform today. We're going to incorporate the platform in the show. So be sure to like up and subscribe and thumbs up and share with your friends because Tokemetrics is here. Okay, so first up, Bill, how are you? How are you doing?
Ian, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Great, great. All right, so for those who may be brand new or don't know who Bill is, can you give them a quick intro on who you are, Bill?
Oh, certainly. So my big part of my background was 12 years at Goldman Sachs as an analyst. And my job would be to take this much information and distill it down into this much information so that you could read it in your smartphone, right? And I would do charts and TA and things like that. Most of my work was the most popular during really highly volatile times. So it got to a point where some of my ex-colleagues were like, hey, Bill, we loved your work in 2008. Why don't you start taking a look at crypto? And my work really, kind of exploded when I started looking at crypto. I went to work. I did some work with Charlie Shrem. I did some work at Charles Schwab to figure out what type of things retail investors liked, how they liked robo investing. And I've got a background that goes from Morningstar in the 90s to Goldman Sachs right around the election. That's helped me figure out two things. One, the power of research done by high quality people, right? The people matter. And that gives you an investing edge. And then two, the power of having a robo advisor take some of the stress away from the retail investor who just really wants to get in the game. So we can help, the active people and the passive people. That's the intro.
Very well said, Bill. And yeah, so we're glad to have Bill on the team. Bill is doing an amazing job, as you guys have seen, with the videos and the content, and just working with the team and helping us build out token metrics. All right. So most people know me, but for those who don't, maybe you're brand new, right? I'm the founder of Token Metrics. We're building a crypto investment advisor. So we're trying to really give you solid investment advice, right? We're not yet investment advisors, so we can't say that yet, but I did pass my Series 65 investment advisor exam, and we're in the registration process, so we're glad to have that. But Bill already has all those qualifications. But with Token Metrics, as Bill said, we're trying to take human experts, their knowledge, their brain trust, codify that, and mix that in with machine learning and really give you an edge. Because as Bill has mentioned before, everybody wants to be invested in crypto. Nobody wants to think about it, right? And that's one thing I've learned from having a large community of followers around the world in crypto. They like the spreadsheet because it really helped them not have to think about doing all that research. It was basically the Cliff Notes version. So we're trying to take that and take it to the next level, the next leap, basically leaping from one planet to a different planet, right? So that's really the idea behind Token Metrics. I'm also a partner at 100x Advisors. It's a blockchain investment and advisory company. Before that, I worked at IBM for 4 years in analytics, working on IBM Watson Analytics, and also working with big data. So I have a passion for this. And before that, I was working as an IT consultant at Deloitte. All right, so intros are out of the way. Let's now really get into the meat of things, right? So we have a poll for our audience. Go to menti.com, menti.com, and use the code 209863. That's 209863. And the first question we have is, are you bullish on Bitcoin? Are you bullish on BTC? Answer yes, no, or neutral. And we'll see what the audience has to say. Okay? All right, so with that being said, Bill, let me briefly hand over to you to just kind of give us a quick market update.
All right. Let me just share my screen here real quick. Okay. All right. So what's the most important thing for today about Bitcoin? Like, what's the news of the day? All right. So what right here on Bitcoin, you can see, frankly, not a lot is happening. Okay. Bitcoin has returned to 8,500, which was the location of a big gap from back in June. So it's almost like Bitcoin has found itself, in a state of balance. Okay. Now, one of the things that I found really surprising when I woke up today is something that Vladimir Putin said. He is the leader of Russia, and here's the quote. He says, "The dollar has enjoyed great trust around the world, but for some reason, it's being used as a political weapon, imposing restrictions. Many countries are now turning away from the dollar as a reserve currency." And the big one, the US dollar will collapse soon.
Wow.
Now, yeah, that's one step up from what the Chinese did, where the Chinese said, we love blockchain, we love crypto. This guy's getting materially more aggressive about it. So without going into a long spiel, that doesn't make me want to sell Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 8,500 seems to be in sort of a state of balance. So I think Bitcoin is either going to sit here or be neutral or drift higher. And I think the big Bitcoin uptrade is probably a 2020 phenomenon. Now, there's one catch. There's one thing I've got in the back of my mind, if I may share this.
Yes, yeah, please do.
I remember in 2017 being at Thanksgiving dinner, and that's when Bitcoin went on its launch. It exploded through 16,000. And that's when the wild mania began. And one of the things I've noticed just offhand is that Bitcoin likes to do things on big American holidays when people aren't looking. So I'm really interested to see if the 2020 up move in Bitcoin may get started around Thanksgiving. Again, that's more of just a bit of trivia and a theory rather than something on a chart, but I think we should pay attention to that.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I definitely recall that's when two years back, 2017 bull run, the crypto mania happened between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I mean, yeah, because we definitely had a unique Christmas holiday.
Yes. Yeah, yes. These holidays can be inflection points. And you know, last week it was the Chinese, or 2 weeks ago it was the Chinese, and now it's the Russians. And they're all telling you the same thing, that people are going to want alternative currencies. All right. And of course, that includes crypto and Bitcoin.
Great. Okay, so that's your take on Bitcoin. Actually, I think let's also share with the audience a preview of Token Metrics and what we're working on, and see what the platform has to say in regards to Bitcoin, Token Metrics' perspective.
All right, I'll turn it over back to you.
Okay, so let me just share my screen here again. So just bear with us. Lots of screen hopping here. It's like we're hopping different worlds. All right, so as you guys can see here, this is Token Metrics. So we're pretty bullish on Bitcoin at the moment, right? We have fundamental score here, technology, technical analysis. This is the platform in general. But what we're most excited about is the machine learning, the pricing predictions. So we're using neural networks without really getting too much into it. We're using neural networks and genetic algorithms. So we're building machine learning models that model evolutionary natural selection. And the models so far are pretty accurate. So looking here at the accuracy for the last 30 days, this is a rolling 30-day price prediction. The accuracy is over 91%. And the month before that, it was 88%. And 3 months before that, it was 81%. So we're doing this for pretty much every cryptocurrency. That's the vision. Right now, we have about 100 cryptocurrencies, and each cryptocurrency has its own customized machine learning model. So looking at this model here, it's saying in the next 30 days, Bitcoin is going to about 10K. So it's not going to the moon just yet, but it's not going to tank anytime soon. And I think that kind of, I guess, is in alignment with what you were saying, Bill. Any thoughts?
Right. See, this is what I like about how we do things, and it's actually the way big Wall Street firms do things. Right. You'll have a technology-based platform, and you'll have a human-based view that focuses around a story and charts. Right. So that covers all the bases. Right. So if you've got unique machines and unique people, then you've got a competitive edge. Right. So, I'm the analytics guy. I would love to sell it to you. I'm selling the story, and I'm backed up by guys who have got great technology, who can really help me leverage what I do. And we, with all this together, can help you leverage what you do.
Very well said. So for those who are curious, the platform is not live yet, but as mentioned, we're planning to launch to a limited group of people. Definitely make sure you sign up at tokenmetrics.com. That's tokenmetrics.com. Go there, sign up, put in your email. We'll send out an alert to people on the email list. Okay, let me just pause the music here, the Manamba song. So we have over 17,000 people on the email list. So it's definitely very popular, and we can only launch to the first 1,000 people. And yes, there will be a free plan, a free tier, right? So it's not just for paying customers, although there will be paid premium plans. But for everybody out there, eventually as we launch, right, the first 1,000 people will get access to Bitcoin price predictions for free, right? So definitely make sure you sign up now. Okay, back to you, Bill.
All right. So we're going to do the screen switch.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump to Ethereum. Okay. So as you can see with Ethereum, this is pretty boring. All right. Ethereum is sitting, but it's doing something good, meaning it's holding support near 180. So Ethereum is in a tight band, right? And I know that that's not very exciting to people in the crypto world, but frequently when Ethereum gets quiet, my experience is when it falls silent and it falls into a range, it can rocket higher. Okay. And we had done a study. I'm going to give it to you in English. We did a study with moving averages, and we were watching the 21-day and 50-day moving average. And we see that what's going on now is very similar to what went on in March. Basically, there was like a big burst up, like right here. Okay. And then Ethereum just kind of sat around. It sat around for about 35, 40 days. So in Ethereum, we're targeting, or I'm targeting, December as a period where Ethereum can turn around and start taking off. Okay. And we're absolutely in love with the fact that Ethereum versus Bitcoin is on an upward trajectory, right? So we think Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin is a key to not only Ethereum going up, but Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market going up too. So the day that, Ethereum versus Bitcoin takes out this 22 level, it's a big level from Elliott Wave. It's the point where, the big last avalanche started from. And we think that if Ethereum blows through that level versus Bitcoin, that's when it's on in crypto. That's when it's on. So that's how we're looking at Ethereum.
Well said, well said. So let me switch back over here to Tokenmetrics. And Tokenmetrics is also in alignment with you, right? Lock and step, right? It's also very, very neutral on Ethereum at the moment. So that's based on the fundamentals, the TA and the technology score. But if we go to the price predictions, the model here so far is pretty accurate as well. And basically has Ethereum in the next 30 days being in that same channel, right? Which kind of gets us towards November and past that. So yeah, I mean, it's great to kind of have the balance of the human capital, your expertise, Bill, then also having the technology also back that up as well, right?
Right. No, that's great.
Okay, now with that being said, back to our question, our poll of the day. Are you bullish on BTC? And the answer was yes, most people were. For some reason, it didn't tell me the percentages, but yes, most people are bullish on Bitcoin. So that is good news. Because I mean, I would assume if you're watching this, you're pretty bullish on Bitcoin, although there are lots of people still on the sidelines. But I think things have definitely been warming up, right? Because Bitcoin, if you put things in perspective, Bitcoin is still up a lot because Bitcoin was at 3,000 in the beginning of the year, right? So Bitcoin has doubled. So if you put that in perspective, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Okay, so let's go to our next question. Do you own more than one altcoin? Once again, go to menti.com to ask your questions, menti.com. Use the code 209863. That's 209863. And the question now is, do you own more than one altcoin? All right, back to you, Bill.
All right. So let's talk alts. So here's a progression as to the background as to how we were approaching alts since we started doing these broadcasts, or since I came on. So at first, alts would go up and then they would fade. And for a couple weeks, I had to listen to myself talk and say the same thing over and over, which was don't chase alts. All right. And then back in early November, ironically, I saw something on like the Komodo chart. And I was like, you know what? I think with Bitcoin stable, that people might start to chase higher quality altcoins. And on that Komodo piece I wrote, I was like, I'm switching gears, go with it. Go with these things when they're up. Don't FOMO in with, the rent money. But I'm seeing repeatedly that a lot of these things have gone up. And now the big question is, can you buy the dip? I'll give you the bottom line to start. I think it's yes, because crypto hedge funds, if Ethereum and Bitcoin maybe sit still, then who beats who in the performance ranking may be a function of who owns the altcoins that really rip into year end. So it's like monkey see, monkey do, right? If hedge fund one buys, Verge and it goes up, or VeChain or Komodo, then the other hedge funds may have to do it too. So that's just a theory that we're operating on. And then we look at the charts from there.
All right. Well said. Well said.
All right. So jumping in here with Cosmos. Okay. Now, Cosmos broke out, right? This is probably one of our favorite altcoins. So here was the breakout above this Elliott wave level, right? That's the level where the last leg of the decline starts. The slang is the previous fourth. So Cosmos broke out, and the next big point we think is 5,600. And what's going on right here is Cosmos is sort of going sideways. It's consolidating. So when alts were no good, what did they do? They popped up and then they just fell apart. Now, what alts are doing now is they're kind of moving in these like sideways boxes when they consolidate. All right. So this makes me think there's another leg higher in Cosmos. Okay. Now we mentioned, we mentioned Komodo. We mentioned what was happening there. So I might as well just dive in. In percentage terms, this move up is massive. Okay. But what's happening is if Komodo takes out this point, maybe around 1250, okay, it can keep going. And as you can see by this price action, it's almost vertical, right? It looks the exact opposite of this price action when it dropped, right? So Ian's a scientist by trade, a technology person. So he probably took some physics, and in physics, it's like speed, magnitude, and direction. What goes down one way goes back up the same way. All right. So this Komodo coin could really move. Okay. And this VeChain may be similar. All right. So what's happening with this is we're seeing a huge breakout here. Okay. And then VeChain is coming back and retesting support. All right. So even though it's up a lot on really great fundamental news about its blockchain, all right, and more on that in a moment, people are buying the dip. Now, this theory about will hedge funds chase these altcoins, I saw news in a hedge fund chat room about them talking about VeChain and about the great blockchain related news related to VeChain about how they, developed something that I believe is used in the medical industry. Now, this is where that was the aha moment, that in addition to what's going on with the Chinese, where they said they wanted to dominate blockchain, when you have this type of thing in VeChain and have it get the attention of hedge funds, you come to one conclusion: blockchain is back. It's not just about cryptocurrencies, which of course we love, but the blockchain science, the blockchain players are back in business. And back in business meaning people are investing again, right? So, we saw this with NEO, right? NEO here took out its previous fourth, right? That means it broke out. And this is the Chinese Ethereum. So with NEO, we're really interested to see, okay, can NEO break through resistance right here? But again, what is NEO doing? It's going sideways. It's not collapsing. It's going sideways. So we're also looking at butting up moves, right? We have seller network. So, you know, Ian's kind of giving me a little free rein to just take a look at some of these things and go, I wonder if this is a candidate for the next chase. So I'm not an expert on seller, but I do notice two big green candles. So I'm sort of interested to see how this performs, right? Another one that has caught my attention is Cardano, right? And I'm going to draw this live, okay? So you can see sort of how you might do these things yourself. I'm wondering, just wondering, if there's a Head and Shoulders bottom forming in Cardano. Okay. In other words, this has been sitting down here like all these other alts for quite some time. Okay. And I'm wondering if Cardano can break out, whether or not this is the next candidate. If people start chasing alt after alt, right? Now, in English, people call that alt season, right? So far, what we've had is we've had a couple high quality alts really move and people chase them. And the big question is, will it spread? Well, we're going to look at Seller and we're going to look at Cardano. And those are two examples of what we're watching to see, hey, will this spread and become an alt season? But our bigger conclusion is that blockchain is back.
Wow. I mean, that's about time. About time. It's been a long time coming.
Right. People in the crypto business have been holding on. You know, Token Metrics has been building and holding on, but there's a lot of people out there that are just holding on, right? Like, you know, for example, you know, we were looking at a chart of Mike Novogratz's hedge fund, Galaxy Digital. Okay.
Where's that trading at?
All right. Well, Galaxy right now is trading at $1.13.
No, I mean, what exchange is that on?
Galaxy trades in Toronto.
On Toronto. Okay.
In Toronto. So one of the things that I've noticed about Galaxy, and this is, you know, again, you're talking about dear life, is that, you know, here there was this rally, right? And now it's come all the way back down with this 5-wave structure. Okay. And where are we? Well, we are exactly where the big move started from. Okay. So when Galaxy exploded back in actually December of last year, Galaxy was a little bit ahead of the market. Okay. Galaxy exploded, and now Galaxy has returned to exactly the same point. Okay. So this is like the blockchain cryptocurrency investment fund run by, you know, talk about human capital. These are some of the smartest guys out there. Now, when I look at this chart briefly, I'll give you both sides of the argument. One of the smartest people I know said, you know, this is negative for Bitcoin that this fund is trading and has given back all of its gains for the year. And my comment was, well, if this has given back all of its gains and blockchain is back and Mr. Putin is saying the dollar will collapse soon, perhaps this zone where we are right here, okay, perhaps that is the zone of maximum fear. That which in markets, if you're familiar with contrarian theory, is where you want to buy, not sell, right? Yes, we all know, everyone in crypto knows that at any moment Bitcoin might lurch down to 6,000. But if you look at the research, if you look at the work, that's not what the charts show. And this could indicate that, people have gotten so exhausted and so frustrated with their blockchain investments that now is the time to buy. Oh, and by the way, we're getting those signals from altcoins as well. So, generally speaking, we're still sticking to this idea that, total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, that's like your alt universe, Ethereum, etc. Okay, we have a double bottom here, right? You have one bottom and then you have a second bottom. Okay, and we think that can create a launch higher. So blockchain is back, despair is high, big cap charts look good, and there are a lot of geopolitical factors that favor alternative currencies. That could be gold, that could be silver, and we think, obviously, it's probably crypto. So that's kind of how I would bundle it up.
Well said, Bill. Well said. All right. So let's get back here to the poll question we have. So the question was, do you own more than one altcoin? The answer is yes.
All right.
Yeah, people own more than one altcoin. So alt season seems to be coming back in. Okay, so let me also show what Tokenmetrics has to say in regards to some of the altcoins we just covered here, so you guys get a perspective. So we covered, I think we covered Ethereum already, right?
Right. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's go to Komodo. So Komodo here, if we go to the price prediction. Now the Komodo model is still being built, so it's not as accurate as the other models, but overall it's bullish. It's showing the direction of the price going up. Now that's based on several factors, right? So we look at the fundamentals. So this is the human capital part. We have our experts go in here, look at the team, the project, the fundamentals, different questions we ask, then we score that. Then we also look at the tech itself, right? Paresh, our blockchain developer from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, goes in and looks at the actual code and scores how good the tech is. Then we also have the technical analysis, right? So we go in and we look at any indicators and we score them based on how well they perform. And we create a single holistic score, right? So if we go back here, this is basically showing, this is kind of like CoinMarketCap, but this is purely based on scoring and rating cryptocurrencies and tokens, right? So if we factor this in, and the score updates every single day, it updates in real time. So for today, in terms of, if we had to pick the top cryptocurrencies, factoring everything in, this is long-term perspective. This is not for a quick flip, right? At this current day and time, we would rank them here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Binance, Cosmos, Zcash, Eternity. Now, mind you, we've only looked at about 100 cryptocurrencies and we're adding more. But when we launch, we'll launch with these 100. Then here we have the fundamental grades. So based purely on fundamentals, the best cryptocurrencies we have here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Holochain, Zcash, Dash, BAT, Monero. If we look at purely just the code, the technology, the best one is Binance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, Matic Network, Cardano, Syntax Token. Okay, that's kind of surprising. Neo, Cosmos. Then the TA score is constantly changing, and we're making some updates to that. But people may be asking, what coins, purely just on the TA, not on fundamentals, not on anything else, what coins are we bullish on? Or what is the platform bullish on? So let me add a filter here. Sorry, hold on. All right, so these are the coins right now that we're bullish on. Some of them we're still reviewing, so that's why they show as drafts. But those that are published, so this is where we're just, for the time being, ignore the other grades, right? So BAT, I'm seeing HedgeTrade, BitTorrent, IOST, MadeSafe, Ardor. Let me sort these by grade. Okay, so here we have MadeSafe, which comes up, right? So maybe that's one to look into if you're a trader. The fundamentals not so good, but the technology is decent. Let me look at the technicals here. So neutral and bullish, very few bearish indicators. But yeah, so I mean, right now I'm loving using the platform. We're building it every single day. So make sure you sign up at tokenmetrics.com to be part of the limited launch. It's going to be first come, first serve. Not everybody can get in, unfortunately, because we want to slowly build it up and test it out and make sure that it's stable, right? Because this is pretty much kind of like a beta test. The other currencies we looked at, I think, right? NEO surprisingly has good technology. I know I've been bashing NEO in the past, but Paresh, our developer, looked at it and it's decent. I mean, it's not like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but it's not too shabby, Then the model we have for NEO is not as accurate, but it's still pretty good, 76%. If you put it in perspective, the average trader, their win rate is what, like anywhere between 40 to 50 something percent is a good trader. If we can build a model that is pretty accurate, that's over 60%, 70, even higher, because our goal is to be better than any winning trader. And we think computers can do that, right? We're seeing what's happening on Wall Street with quant funds, right? A book just came out about Jim Simmons, I believe is his name. He's one of the best quants on Wall Street, former code breaker from MIT, who built a hedge fund and has outperformed Warren Buffett. His fund has returned, the Medallion Fund has returned 39% over the last 40 something years, I believe, some insane number, right? When somebody's outperforming Warren Buffett and it's a quant fund, that shows you the quants are here to stay. And last year, according to PwC, the crypto went down, right? Bitcoin went down. Everybody lost money. People got wrecked. But quant funds made money last year. They had 8% return. It's pretty low, but if you take into perspective altcoins, and most people lost over 70% of their money, positive 8% is pretty good. So quant funds are here to stay. But if you're a retail investor, if you're a regular guy, how do you compete, right? Unless you're a developer, you can't really compete. So with Token Metrics, we're trying to empower the everyday retail investor by giving them the quant power at their fingertips with tokenmetrics.com, right? So we're building the power and the platform for you, so you guys don't have to. Okay, and then here we have Cosmos. So here it's actually pretty bearish at the moment, but I think that does match up with what you said, because you said it's coming back to test the bottom, right? To test
right. In other words, Cosmos has gone up a lot, and it's going sideways, okay, rather than crashing. So basically what I think our math is showing is, Cosmos has already kind of gone up a lot.
Yeah. So actually it is, the price prediction is pretty bullish. So, and this has been fairly accurate the last 3 months. So it's showing Cosmos to keep going up in the next month or so. So we're still making some changes to the system. The TA part has to be fine-tuned because technical analysis is a different beast, because the indicators are constantly changing every single day by the hour and all kinds of things. So I think right now the grading system we have for TA is very, very strict. We may have to ease that up a bit. So that does also impact the score. But the fundamentals and technology for Cosmos are solid, very, very solid.
Right. And these indicators help the Token Metrics team because, I'll say to the team, hey, guys, I got some great charts. This happened recently. I've got charts of, altcoin 1, 2, and 3. And then somebody pipes up and goes, well, wait a minute. I did the research on that. We've got great scores for technology on those altcoins. I'm like, really? And then the next thing you know, we had like 5 or 6 coins where what was on the charts and what the humans thought about, the charts and the technology becomes research, which is what we're also delivering in addition to the power of quants in your hands. So, we
Very
can
well said.
actually give you both.
Yeah. So VeChain, the score is not fully complete. So we only have 2 scores. That's why it's showing bearish. We have no TA score for it yet, but that will be fixed and updated. But I believe we do have a price prediction. Okay. So this price prediction is still in the works. It's not as accurate. Actually, I'm not even sure. I don't think this is correct. But anyway, I'll just kind of stop there. One of the cool thing we just added this week is correlation for tokens. So for those who maybe want to find other cryptocurrencies that correlate with VeChain, here we got LSK, Ontology, and Icon, ICX. That's the old and good one. And then maybe those who want to find other currencies that are opposite of VeChain, we got CHX, FTX, EKT, and Wings. But anyway, I mean, I'm very excited for the launch of Tokenmetrics. If you guys are as well, let us know in the comments below. Just say, hey, I'm excited about Tokenmetrics. If you signed up, tell us in the comments below as well. Tell us you've signed up as well. And yeah, so I believe, any last words, Bill, before you have to head out?
Ian, I'm always grateful to be on the show, and I'm always grateful to our readers and our listeners and our viewers for supporting us. We work hard for you because we want you to be successful. So thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. All right. Take care, Bill. I'll hang on here for a bit and just answer some questions.
All right, folks. Have a great week. Take care.
All right. Okay. So here, so for those who have questions, go to menti.com. That's MENTI.com and use the code 209863. That's 209863. Okay, here, let me just go through here and see what questions we have here. Okay, so let me share my screen so you guys don't see my zoomed in face. But yeah, I mean, it's great to have blockchain back, as you guys can see here with the trends. That's not what I want. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, so first question, what do you think about Matic Network? Are you still bullish in the next altcoin season? How far is the alt season? I think we kind of covered this today, right? But if let's pull up Matic Network. I mean, look at that. That's not Matic. So Matic Network. Right, so technology is solid. The tech for Matic Network is solid, right? If we go here, right, I mean, we've looked at it. It's as good. It's top 5 out of all the projects out there. The technology is pretty solid. Now, the fundamentals are not quite there yet. It's an early company, still growing, right? But that will grow over time, right? That the team is pretty good, right? There are some other things we didn't like about the fundamentals, but other than that, let's look at the price predictions. Okay, we have no predictions for Matic Network yet, so I don't think we're done yet on this one. Right now, looking at the technicals, it's not so good at the moment. So maybe now is not the time to get in. I think that's why the score is kind of bearish. But we are in the process of fine tuning this. So once again, guys, this is not investment advice. We're not investment advisors officially yet. At least we're not your investment advisor until you eventually sign up and when we get licensed and regulated and everything. But going back to your question, right? The tech is good on Matic Network. Are we bullish on altcoin season? As Bill just mentioned, Bitcoin has been going sideways, so things are getting better. Then we have different forces converging at the same time. We have China making blockchain a top priority, an imperative. We have Putin saying the dollar is going to crash, basically. So China and Russia, and pretty much some other parts of the world, they want to remove the US dollar as the global reserve currency of the world. What does that mean? It's kind of like in crypto, right? In order to trade any altcoin in crypto, you need Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the reserve currency for crypto. Well, the same thing in the world. If you're doing trade around the world, people use the strongest currency. So for the longest time, it's been the US dollar because it has the highest market cap, or whatever term you want to use. Well, other competing countries like China and Russia, countries that don't really have the best relationships with the US, they don't like that because the US can dictate rules. So think of this as kind of like how some cryptocurrencies say, you know what, we don't want to have any Bitcoin pairs because we're tired of having volatility with Bitcoin. So we're going to have tether pairs only. And that's what basically other current countries are trying to do. They don't want to be paired to the US dollar. So if that happens, if the US dollar is no longer the world's reserve currency, it's going to be chaotic times. Chaos will ensue, I think. Right. And as who's that guy? For those who watch Game of Thrones, there's that guy in that show, Littlefinger, right? Chaos is a ladder, right? Where there's chaos, there's opportunity. And there'll be lots of opportunity for crypto, for Bitcoin. So I think alt season, I wouldn't say it's officially here yet, but I mean, it's getting better, right? As we've seen, the technicals, for those who missed it, just go back in the live stream. Bill showed the TA of just altcoins. They've been trending up, right? If a double bottom is happening, that's good. So how far is it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not really in that prediction business like that, but with tokenomics, we're trying to predict for each cryptocurrency, right? So we can give you for each cryptocurrency, but not for everything as a whole, right? I mean, for Bitcoin, as mentioned, right, we're pretty bullish, right? So maybe we use Bitcoin as the proxy. Or rather, actually, let's use Ethereum for altcoins, right? We're bullish on Ethereum. Ethereum is, right? So the Ethereum, we don't think Ethereum is going to go down anytime soon in the next month or so. Now, this is not factoring in random news that happens in crypto, right? If the US comes out and says Ethereum is a security for some reason, then yeah, obviously the machine learning models can't factor that in, right? Or if somebody comes in like Russia and says, we're gonna do some kind of work with Ethereum and Vitalik or whatever, right? That's stuff we can't see. But I mean, based on the data we do have, this is pretty accurate, right? 9 times out of 10 is going to be correct, right? It's predicting the price. For the data scientists, these are the different terms you can look into. But yeah, I mean, things are looking good, right? So we think the money is going to flow from dollars to Bitcoin to Ethereum, then to alts. So alt season could be around the corner, right? And the holidays are coming. Where do you think the price of Ethereum will be a year from now? I mean, that I can't predict. If Ethereum does come out with Ethereum Casper or 2.0, whatever they're calling it, right? Proof of stake. I mean, that could be big, right? And DeFi, decentralized finance, is definitely trending up. That seems to be the new wave. So, I mean, 1 year from now, if I had to predict, this is just me predicting, not based on anything, just based on the trends. I think Ethereum I should definitely be at least double the price it is now, right? That's just kind of a very conservative prediction, right? So Ethereum should definitely be over $300-400. But I mean, that's just my prediction, right? Definitely not investment advice, not customized advice for anybody. Let me just go back here. Okay. Our ICO is dead. Good question. Good question. For now, I think so, right? Obviously, right? Money has not been flowing into ICOs, but I think I have a way. Well, not really me, but I think Vitalik's DICO model, the DAO, where you take ICOs and DAOs and put them together, where you basically create. It's kind of like traditional equity investing, milestone-based investments. So as opposed to ICOs or projects raising all the funds at the same time, you basically send funds to a smart contract, and then the project says, the project gives you the goals he wants to achieve, the roadmap, the milestones. Then the community as a whole votes, and there has to be consensus before the funds are released, right? So for example, let's say the project raises $10 million, right? And they have 5 milestones. Each milestone, they'll get a particular amount of money. To keep the math simple, let's say $2 million for each milestone. So that's 2 times 5 is $10 million. So you lock that up in a smart contract, or it could be just even any escrow agent, right? A third-party escrow agent. But the community as a whole keeps track of the project. Then when they say, okay, we're done with the first milestone, there's a community vote, and the community as a whole votes and says, okay, yes, this is a good milestone. No, this is a bad, they've not achieved this milestone. Don't give them any money, right? When they achieve the milestones, the fund's unlocked, right? So I think that's the future for any kind of ICO. I think that's really the only way ICOs will be revived. I haven't really seen anybody do it, but stay tuned, guys. We're thinking of how we can do this with Tokenmetrics and the platform we're doing for other projects, right? It's still very early, right? So this is probably 1 to 2 years out, not anytime soon, but we think, because really investors want to be protected. People are tired of losing money, right? All of us are, right? So imagine we had products, imagine Sparkster, right? Sparkster raised what, 22 million? I think it was 30, but the price tanked when they got the money. Let's say Sparkster raised, let's say 30 million, right? If we had a DICO type model and Sparkster didn't achieve the milestones, we could say, you know what? No, give us our money back, right? They would, at the worst, maybe only got in a fraction of the money they took, right? So I think something like that, this is deeply needed. I think it's really the only way to revive ICOs, right? Then IEOs were trending upwards in the first half of the year. They aren't really, they've kind of fizzled out at the moment because they're no good quality IEOs, right? Like we found all the early ones, right? Almost a year before they were even the IEO. We found Matic Network back in India. We found Allron back in Romania. We found Harmony in San Francisco over a year ago. All these projects, right? And we had all those on our spreadsheet. So with Tokenmetrics, we're trying to do the same thing, find those projects early. We will have IEOs. So we haven't really shown the IEO section. Let me see if I can, let me pull that up here. We do plan to have IEO ratings here because I know people are always asking about IEOs, right? So we'll have them here, right? We have some IEOs here we've been looking into. So stay tuned. Actually, not all these are IEOs. Some of these are just projects, but we have them here as IEOs, but not all of them are IEOs. But yeah, so that's kind of it. Let me go to the next question. Okay, can you do some analysis on VeChain, please? What do you think of the fundamentals? Personally, I'm bullish. Okay, let's go back to VeChain. Okay, he said the fundamentals of VeChain. Okay, so fundamentals are actually pretty good. 78% is a very good score. So looking at VeChain, the all-time ROI is down 51%. Okay, initial token price was 2 cents, I believe, assuming that's right. Market cap. Anyway, what do we have here? Okay, so the team, Kevin Feng, PwC, Noah Huel. Noah, I butchered that. Okay, Noah from PwC, Jerome from Barclays, Flora Wang from Hennessy, from LVMH, Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, Ji Yu from Hewlett Packard, Ryan Shen from Accenture, Sunny Liu. Okay, so the ones with the stars are the all-stars, I believe. Okay, so looking at we have some initial screening questions we do ask, right? So were tokens sold at 80% discount in a prior round? No. Are more than 50% of the tokens owned by the community? Yes. Okay, so it is decentralized. Are the team advisors and seed round investors tokens locked more than 6 months past when my tokens are liquid? Yes. Okay, in terms of scarcity, is the token economic model inflationary or deflationary? Okay, it's deflationary. There's no token burn. In terms of the market standing, they have customers and users. The tokens fulfill utility. In other words, they're not just used for fundraising, so they have actual token utility. Are they leading the pack in terms of their competition, or they have no competition? Okay, they're first on the pack for whatever they're doing. Does the token create a market, addresses an unmet need, or creates value for network participants? Yes. How many years before the ICO or IEO did the company start? So it's been around for two to 3 years. Okay, and then they do have a team member who is well known in the industry and can drive developmental progress and articulate the product's vision, strategy, and use cases. Is it on top exchanges? Yes, it's on Binance and Huobi. Are there any fiat crypto trading pairs? Not at the moment, at least when we last checked. How much traffic does the website get? Over 20,000 visits a month. Okay. Telegram group community is a community over 15,000. Okay, I don't think we finished that one. I'm not sure why. Does the company, okay, I think this is probably automated. Okay, does the company website have team bios, terms of use, and all that stuff? Roadmap? No. Okay, seems the website is missing some info. Maybe I guess it's the English website versus the Chinese website. Are they in mainstream media? Yes, they are. Reputation. Okay, white paper covers real world implementation and practical applications of how they'll use their technology. The team is public. The public videos on the team members. We know it's not a exit scam per se, right? Like those products that are anonymous. They had early reputable investors. The team members were involved in scandals. Okay, they have more than 10 people on the team. Their consensus mechanism is proof of work. And they have 1 to 200 nodes on their network. So it is pretty decentralized. So yeah, those are the fundamentals. Let me know if you guys like that. If you do, I'll start doing a lot more of those. Let me know in the comments down below. Right, this feels like back in the good old days. Okay, I think we're still pulling in some information here. But yeah, that's the fundamental for that. The technology, VeChain blockchain platform for the Internet of Things. Main goal to make the supply chain more efficient, transparent, and cost effective. It's an ERC20 token on Ethereum with their own smart contracts where platform stores specific VeChain IDs. Okay, it uses proof of work with mining algorithm Ethash. Okay, they will start a new project called VeChain Thor based on Ethereum, as well as it will allow creating dApps for different business sectors. Okay, so looking here at, so guys, by the way, so the scoring system we have is constantly evolving, right? So the points change every single day. The weights of each point change every single day, right? So if we go here, let's quickly look at the machine learning. Now, this is still a work in progress, so just bear with us, right? This is kind of looking at, so these are the different weights. So we're using reinforcement learning. So the model, so the way that our machine learning works is like this. We take a currency like VeChain, and we create 100 models, 100 random models, 100 random machine learning models that are meant to predict VeChain, right? So in this case, for fundamental grade, for the finer grade, technical, technology, every single grade has its own machine learning model. So really for VeChain, we have 100 fundamental models, 100 technical models, 100 technology models, 100 finer grade models. So that's 400 models we create for each part of VeChain, right? Those are a lot of models, but wait, there's more. right? So we do that, and then those models, we score them, and we see, okay, which ones were the best performing ones. The best performing models, we then take the winners and we have them mate, right? We have them crossover, right? So this model is natural selection in evolution. So it's kind of like breeding horses or breeding dogs, right? We're trying to build a stallion, right? A stallion of a model to predict each cryptocurrency. So imagine you have 100 models just for the fundamental score of VeChain. Then we take the winning anywhere from 2 to 10, right? Let's say we take the top 10 models and we have them have babies and create super models, right? Pun intended, right? Then we do that 500 times. So each time they have children, it's called a generation. So we create 500 generations, right? So it's like, each generation gets better and better and better and better until we have like these ultimate supermodels that are almost as accurate as you can get in this point in time. I mean, yes, they're not perfect, but it's as close to perfect as you can get. If the best model to predict VeChain has 60% accuracy, we'll find that model, right? We do it. So we take 100 children, right? 100 children, take the best ones, have them create new models from that, and repeat that 500 times. And that's just one day. We do that every single day. So, I mean, that's how we get the accuracy we're getting right now, right? Obviously, it's not super accurate with some things, right? But the idea with us, we're trying to be very, very transparent, right? We're not trying to hide anything. So if you go in here, looking at the fundamental grade, right? Projects that, so this is what we had initially. Then the machine learning model has come up with this, has found a better model that's more accurate. It's a lot more stricter though, right? So for example, before we had projects getting 90, we had 2 projects. So the way this is kind of confusing to read. So because it's raw data, we're going to create a chart that's a lot easier to read this. But say 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 80 is a C. This is just for the fundamental grade, right? So this is 0. This is the ROI, the alpha, right? Meaning the alpha with Bitcoin, meaning has this outperformed Bitcoin, right? So the way this reads is, looking at this, right? 2 tokens in our database that we rated 90 to 100, meaning an A. 2 out of 2 had a positive alpha, meaning there were better investments versus Bitcoin. Your money was better off in these projects than Bitcoin, right? So that had 100% accuracy, right? Then we have one for each range. So we're kind of segmenting them into groups based on the scores and showing the accuracy, right? So not everything is fully accurate. This changes every single day, so it definitely is hard to keep track of, right? So for example, here, projects were rating with the fundamental grade of B, 80 to 90. We had 9, 6 of them underperformed, meaning that you were better off holding Bitcoin, right? So that's why the accuracy here is 33%. So we're constantly working on this, trying to optimize this, right? So this is the new model, right? The super model that we found so far just for VeChain. This is customized to VeChain. This is not one size fits all. This is like a custom tailored suit, right? You can't take one model and apply it to every cryptocurrency because there's so many cryptocurrencies out there. We're creating a model just for VeChain, just for the fundamentals, nothing else, not TA, no nothing, just the fundamentals, right? So looking at this new model here, hold on, sorry. For VeChain, but the chart, the table here is for all the fundamental tokens out there, right? So looking at this new one, this one is a lot stricter. The highest tokens get a grade of 70 to 80. Only 2 got that grade. They had a score of 100. Then this one, so this is a lot more accurate than this one. So the next part we're working on is taking the new supermodels and feeding those back into tokenomics, right? So, because right now, if we go back to, just give me a second here. Right, if we go back to VeChain fundamentals, right? Right now, this core is the original model we have, right? But we've been running a bunch of other models in the background, right? And this model is a lot more accurate. So we want to take this model and update the system, right? So it's kind of like a supercomputer that keeps on learning and learning and getting smarter and smarter, kind of like with AlphaGo with Google, right? With DeepMind or with IBM Watson, where, okay, it gets smarter and smarter because this was the old model and this is the new model that's a lot more accurate, right? So the weights have shifted. So we then have to update these new weights into the model so that it changes, right? Because if we go back here and right, let me take you into the admin view here. I'm showing you guys the secret sauce. Getting lost in the sauce. Okay, so like right now, right, like we have these different points, right, and scores we have, right, the questions and everything, right, these grades, these will be constantly changing because the model updates every single day, right? So just for the fundamentals, right, this is purely the fundamentals. Just for the fundamentals, as mentioned, we're creating 100 children or new models derived from that. Then we have them compete, pick the best performing ones, have them create new models, right? And so in the next generation, you have better models. And we do that 500 times just for the fundamental grade. Then we do it for the technical, then the technology, then the final grade, right? So each one is 50,000 models a day. So that's 200,000 models a day we'll be running. I mean, and every single day, once we find the best one, it's basically survival of the fittest for altcoins, for cryptocurrencies, right? So because we think this is really the future, right? I mean, yes, we were good at doing data analysis with the spreadsheet, but I mean, even we know when we're beat, right? Nothing can compete with machine learning. Machine learning AI is the future, right? But you have to have the human element involved, right? You have to have human capital, the experts, right? Like Bill, Paresh, our team, right? We go through, we put in the data, and then we kind of manage the model, right? So this was our initial model, and the AI has found a model that's superior, right? Not perfect, obviously, right? Because nothing can be perfect, but this is how we're getting results like this, right? Like we go to Bitcoin, the price prediction model we have, Fuego. I mean, if this can continue, right? Obviously things can change, right? If this can continue, if we can have over 80% accuracy predicting the price of Bitcoin, and in the last 30 days, 91% accuracy, I mean, to the moon and beyond. The moon is not the limit, right? Not financial advice, right? But this is, I mean, we're very excited for what's possible. And yeah, I mean, if you guys like that, be sure to sign up, tokenmetrics.com. Okay, let me go back to the questions here. Okay, do you think the USA will let China beat them and get the edge on Bitcoin and blockchain technology? Oh man, I mean, very good question. Very good question. I mean, it is hard to say. I mean, but I've been around the world for crypto. Personally, I've been to over 45 countries, and 35 of them were last year during our crypto world tour. So I've gotten a chance to really see how people are using blockchain and crypto, Bitcoin, and everything all over the world. And what I can say is the USA is definitely behind. They're behind the game. Like I'm very concerned. The only way I can see them really catching up is if the president steps in and does something. And that's really the only way, right? But I mean, the other countries are ahead of the game, right? And China now, right? The president, what's his name? Xi Ping something, right? With him saying blockchain is a top priority for China. I mean, I think the USA won't go down without a fight. They definitely do want to maintain their reserve, to maintain the dollar as the reserve status, as the reserve currency. But I mean, if I was a betting man, I mean, even Rome crumbled, right? The greatest empires of all time always end up crumbling, right? Nothing lasts forever, right? Rome crumbled. I mean, Great Britain crumbled. Somebody I was talking to, I think, I also saw an article about this. So what they're saying is the US is basically Great Britain back in the 20th century, right? So after World War II, right, Great Britain was the biggest empire in the world, right? They were king of the hill. Then they had World War II. They went broke from just fighting the war. And then America rose up and replaced them and became the biggest empire in the world. But now people are saying that for the rest of the 21st century, China is going to become the new America, the new big empire in the world. And America is going to go down the same way the UK did, right? I could possibly see him because China has been growing like crazy. In the last 20 years, the growth in China, I went to China with KuCoin. I was blown away. You travel in China and you will see cities you've never heard of, the size of New York City, right? We went to Chengdu. I had never heard of Chengdu in my life. And Chengdu is the size of New York City. You go for blocks and blocks and blocks, nothing but skyscrapers. I mean, sure, maybe there's just smoke and pollution there everywhere. But I mean, they have big cities you've never heard of that are huge. Like, I mean, China is massive, and there's a ton of money there, right? China, Shanghai, Beijing, right? Shenzhen. I mean, China is loaded, right? So shout out to KuCoin for giving me the 10-year Chinese visa, right? So I'm definitely going to go back. But yeah, I think China is on the up and up. China is trending up, while the US is trending down, right? We have the cutting interest rates several times. I think the only way, really, right, not to get too political, right? I don't know. I'm not really a political person, but I've been following Andrew Yang a lot, Yang Gang, after he was in Consensus, right? I was there. I didn't see him speak, but when I heard that there was a presidential candidate at Consensus, I was like, okay, this guy's pro crypto. Okay. Maybe this guy can tell the SEC and the US and all these organizations to hurry up, right? Because we're gonna get left behind, right? I'm not really pro taxes, right? Because he's trying to tax like this. He's trying to do the Amazon VAT tax. But I mean, what we need is lobbying in the US. If we can get a presidential candidate, whether Andrew Yang or whoever, to really be pro crypto, go in there, change the rules and everything, and make it a lot easier for adoption, then the US can catch up. But if that's not going to happen, it's tough, right? Kind of like in China. That's what happened in China, right? China was banning crypto, whatever, here and there. But now the president said, stop, right? Now we're in on crypto, right? I know Binance and some exchanges got their Weibo accounts banned or whatever, right? So it seems they still have some stuff they have to sort out. But overall, though, it starts at the top. The people at the top say, hey, we're down with crypto, we're down with Bitcoin and blockchain. That's what has to happen. So until that happens in the US, right now, China is in the lead. As they would say in China, ni hao and xie xie. That means hello and thank you. Okay, what are your top 5 coins going into 2020? Good question, right? So obviously, as mentioned before, this is not financial advice. This is not investment. We're not investment advisors, at least for you, right? This is not custom tailored investment advice. This is just my personal opinion. So or rather, if we had to use tokenmetrics, right, we can't really say anything for 2020, right? But I can say right now, what projects do we like, right? And right, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Binance, Cosmos. Excuse me. This is factoring in everything we have, all the data we have, and the machine learning we have at this current point in time. Now, this could totally change in 2020, right? So, right, so that's something you have to factor in. But at this point in time, if we had to be very conservative and say which cryptocurrencies, right, if we had to take a long-term perspective, right, this is what I would say, right? Now, if you're an investor who looks at something else, right, if you're looking for purely the fundamentals, if you're a hodler, for example, let's say you want purely fundamentals, top 5, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Holochain, Zcash, Dash. If you're a developer, you only care about the tech, bro. You're in it for the tech, you're not in it to make money, right? Then would say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, Matic, and Cardano. Now, we've only looked at about 100 cryptocurrencies, right? So we're still adding more into the system, right? But this is what we have. Ignore the technical analysis score because we're still fine-tuning this. Right now, it's too strict, right? But I would say, yeah, the ones that are currently bullish, just based on the trading indicators, this is for the trader, right? This is for the person who's trying to trade this for a few days, right? For anywhere from a day to a few days, maybe even a few weeks, right? Day traders to swing traders, these are the top ones we would say, right? So hopefully that answers your question. Hello, love the new tokenmetrics and look. Thanks for all you do in the crypto space and congrats on getting the license. Question, do you think the ICOs you did before, like ICX, etc., will gain again? First of all, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for the question. I passed the exam, but I've not gotten the license yet. So the next step is we're now applying with the SEC and regulators, and we have to do an application that takes a long time, right? But I passed the exam, but I'm not licensed yet. So don't want to confuse anybody on that yet. But we're working towards getting licensed. It is a process, right? The first process was taking the exam. Okay, so Icon. Well, Icon bounced back. Let's check out Icon. ICX. All right, so looking at tokenmetrics, so fundamentals are all right. The technology is pretty good on Icon. So tech is solid, right? That's something now we can say. We can, using our personal opinion and the machine learning and our human capital, we can definitively say the tech is good on Icon, right? The tech is good. So, but the question is it going to go up? So price predictions right now on Icon, for the last 30 days, it's about 79%. Okay, so it's at 11 cents. Wow. So when I got into Icon, my private sell price was about 12 cents. So it's back to almost private sell price, right? Okay, so, so it has Icon going down to 7 cents. Okay, obviously anything could happen, right? Past performance is not indicative of future results, right? This is just a model, but the model right now is not so bullish, right? I mean, it's not a big dip, right? It's not saying it's going to zero, but it's saying in the next 30 days, right? Almost 8 out of 10 times is going to go down, right, to 7 cents, right? So the way this works is we predict a range, then we pick something in the middle, right? So right now is, so, right? I think these models should be updated. Let me just go see what's the current price. Ooh, okay, hold on. Current price is 17 cents. Okay, I'm not sure how recently this was synced, right? But okay, if current price is 17 cents, then yeah, maybe it's time to get out. Right, if it's 17 cents and it's going to, okay, hold on, just give me 1 minute here. I want to check what are the, maybe just wanted to see if we have the actual correct price. Yeah, so right, CoinMarketCap has the same price, so we're just rounding up, right? So 17 cents on CoinMarketCap, and then we also have 17 cents, right? So wow, it's, yeah, so maybe yeah, price, so not so bullish on Icon at the moment. Now the tech is solid, but right, it's one thing we've learned in crypto, you have to factor everything in. You got to factor in the TA, right? So fundamentals, right? So right now at this moment, we would have to say we're not so bullish. Now we don't have the technical score yet for some reason. We're still doing some things in the back end, right? So that's why I'm looking purely at the price prediction, right? So you could say 7 to 8 times out of 10, it's gonna keep going down, right? So, but that's just for the next 30 days. Once again, this is not financial advice, right? This is just data and the model, right? So take that with a grain of salt. But however, if you're a long-term hodler of Icon, do understand the technology is solid, right? If we go back here and pull up the tech, right? Innovations, okay, so not so innovative. Architecture is all right. The code quality is good, solid. Mainnet usability and team is good, right? Let's see here. Right, yeah, so for the architecture, okay, it's very complex, right? And it takes time for people to really understand, for developers to understand. That's why we penalized it, right? So in terms of really getting people to build on it, it's going to take a while. But I mean, the code quality is outstanding, right? Outstanding here, right? This tech review was done by Paresh, right? So everything else is solid, right? So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, next question. When do you guys see security tokens becoming mainstream in the crypto world? Thanks. Good question. So I think the first step towards them becoming mainstream is what Blockstack has done, right? For those who haven't been following, Blockstack, a USA company, right? The first SEC qualified security token, the first US company to issue a security token with the qualification of the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is the organization in the US that has been saying all these other cryptocurrencies are securities and finding them and all that stuff. They've qualified 2 cryptocurrencies at the moment, Blockstack and Props. Blockstack is now trading on Binance, which is huge for an American company to issue a token, get qualified by the SEC, and then be trading on Binance. So the way that worked is because they're trading on the non-US Binance and the Binance that has kicked off USA investors and traders and customers and users, the SEC is okay with that. So what they're saying is, we're okay with you being an American company issuing a token as long as USA people cannot access it. I'll get to that in a moment. But what they're saying is, we don't care about other people from the world, right? If you go into any exchange, as long as that exchange does not cater to US investors or traders, we won't come after you, right? If you're in the US, what they want is, if the token is going to be trading on a exchange that has USA customers or users, they want to make sure it's regulated in the US. They want to make sure it's an ATS, which is alternative trading system, right? Which is something that they have to sign up with the SEC or whatever commission that manages it, with the FINRA, right? Do all kinds of compliance. So that they don't want you going out there and playing altcoin roulette on some random exchange that ends up doing exit scam, right? Kind of like what happened in Canada, where the guy was missing or went to India or whatever. I don't know, right? They want to make sure the exchange is regulated. If they're U.S. customers, if they're no U.S. customers, they don't really care, right? So it's very interesting to see, but I think security tokens are still far away. I think they're a couple years away. I think until the big exchanges in the US start trading them with lots of volume, which is basically, I think we have to wait until Coinbase starts trading security tokens, right? I've heard articles about them investing in it, looking into it, trying to build products around it, right? But it's not built yet because tZERO has been a flop, right? When Patrick Byrne, the CEO, had to leave because he was dating a Russian agent, Russian spy. I mean, that's wrecked, right? And I know tZERO equity investors who've been trying to get me to connect them with people to buy their tokens, right? Because they're trying to get out, right? So that ship is sinking, right? That's just my opinion, though. So yeah, tZERO has flopped. So some other exchange has to really carry the torch, carry the flame for security tokens in the US. So I think it has to be Coinbase or Binance, right? If those two exchanges come out and say, guys, we've gotten our ATS license, we can trade security tokens by the book with the qualification licensing of regulators in the US, and there's liquid volume, that's when we're all going to the moon, in my opinion, right? But until then, it's going to be a long time, right? Will they go mainstream? If that happens, I think we'll be on the pathway. We'll be on the highway towards going mainstream because security tokens, I mean, they're tangible. They're backed by real assets, right? So whether equity or real assets, I think mainstream is eventually going to have to get down with the program, but I think it's going to take a while. What grade did Chainlink receive for the technology? Very good question. That is a popular project people have been asking about. I don't think we have Chainlink in here. I think because we had some issue with Chainlink in here. So it's not quite in here, but we do have it in our spreadsheet. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Thanks. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, all right. So this is the other spreadsheet we have. Chainlink got a 74% for technology. So not that great, not too bad. It's just all right. One thing, basically our thoughts on Chainlink is there's too much hype. The hype has exceeded the technology, right? But that makes sense because 4chan was hyping the hell out of it, right? But yeah, Chainlink is not a horrible project, but I mean, don't believe the hype, right? So just keep it casual. It's just a casual, cool project, if that makes sense. Okay, all right. Next question. What's your take on XRP, especially after the multiple partnerships announced? Okay, I'm not sure which partnerships you're talking about. I haven't been following Ripple that much, to be honest, but let's pull it up here in Tokenmetrics. Okay, so looking, fundamentals are not really there. The technology is all right. Let me see the news here. Okay, this is from their blog. Okay, so not really much there. Okay. Anyway, but fundamentals, yeah, not so good. Let me see if we have price predictions on Ripple. Okay, wow. So price predictions are pretty accurate. Well, Ripple doesn't really move much, so not really much to predict. Right, it's pretty stagnant because yeah, it's basically saying Ripple is going to be in the same range for the next 30 days, and it's been fairly accurate. This is still testing, guys. So I don't want anybody to go out there. Don't go out there, as Bill said, and put in your rent money in anything we say. This is just purely our opinion, not investment advice. We're just walking you through the data, right? So, but yeah, the last 30 days is 96% accurate, right? Technology-wise, it's all right, not too bad, and it's not that innovative, right? Obviously, but I mean, they've done a good job. I mean, they have lots of money in backing, right? So it's not a completely bad project. And the fundamentals were not so good because I mean, just it's Ripple. I mean, but I'll let you guys go through and maybe pause the video and read, or when you guys do sign up, if you guys are one of the first 1,000 people to sign up, right? But going back to your question, Ripple, I mean, Ripple is not going away anytime soon. Ripple has so much money in the bank, right? Ripple is one of the few companies that's actually profitable in crypto, right? These guys are out there doing real things, right? Getting partnerships with banks, right? Some people say that they're just small POCs that they gas up as partnerships. Okay, and the token is not really even used, right? But they have money in the bank, right? So it's not going away anytime soon, right? There's been a bunch of rumors and speculations. If what you're talking about is the rumor that they were going to buy Swift, I think that was just fake news. I'm not sure, right? As Trump would say,
it's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think that was actual news, right? But I haven't really been keeping track on Ripple, but that's all I can really say. But Ripple is always getting partnerships, right? I mean, they have actual biz dev and sales teams working on the company, right? And that's all I have to say, unfortunately. Do you think it's best to invest in Asian coins at the moment? I mean, if you're trying to invest in Asian coins based on the news from China, I mean, I would say move cautiously, right? That's with anything, any investing, especially in crypto, right? So what I would do is I would rather create a list of all the coins that could get impacted by the Chinese news, right? Kind of like how we had NEO here, right? NEO is actually pretty good, right? So let's see here, right? Fundamentals are decent. Technology is good. The TA, it could be better, but the TA score we're still working on, so ignore that for now, right? But price prediction wise, NEO. Okay, yeah, NEO is probably going to be going down just based off of this. So, I mean, I would not chase the hype. I mean, I would wait. I'll just create a watch list, right? Add all the Asian coins on there. We looked at NEO, we looked at VeChain. What are the Asian coins are there? Qtum. Let's look at Qtum. Right, fundamentals, the tech is not so good. Let's look at the performance metrics here versus Bitcoin. Yeah, so Qtum has been underperforming Bitcoin for a while. Yeah, so you would have been better off holding Bitcoin. Right. And then, so in October has been the best month so far, right? So the Chinese news definitely has, sorry, not best month, but best month in a while. But in June and May, they did pretty well. March did pretty well, right? So, I mean, it's definitely been trending up. I would just add this on your watch list. Let's see here, the price predictions, if we have one. Okay. So it's at 241, 236. So we're pretty much neutral, at least based on the price prediction wise for the next month or so, right? So it's going to be kind of in a channel. Let me see if we have technical analysis score. Okay, we don't have technical analysis on this. So, but everything else, right? Fundamentals. Let's see where it didn't do so well. Okay, initial screening questions. Development is scored very low on development. And yeah, let's see why. Okay, so pretty much I think they went straight to ICL, and they aren't really well known in the industry, right? The team members, it's not really that public per se. And then I'm seeing scarcity. Huh. I mean, but the score is not too bad. Okay, it's the tech where it didn't score so well. So innovation and architecture. Okay, so similar projects. So, and haven't really, it's kind of in the middle of the pack, right? So Qtum is a decentralized platform built on Bitcoin's unspent transaction output model, UTXO, with support for Ethereum virtual machine-based smart contracts and secured by a point of sale, I mean, so not point of sale, proof of stake consensus model. Okay, so, I mean, it's just a mediocre project, basically, is what we're tech-wise, at least, is what our human capital is saying. Right? The architecture is very complex. It takes more than an hour for a developer to really understand it. And these are like professional developers we're talking about. Right? So the code quality, though, is pretty good. Right? Code quality is good. So we have Qtum. What are the other Chinese coins here? Hey, Barry, thanks for joining. Yeah, guys, smash up the like button, smash up the likes if you're liking this. If you've signed up for tokenmetrics.com and you're waiting for the invite, smash up the likes buttons and comment in the comments saying, I'm in to the moon and beyond. Okay, all right, so let me go back to the next question here. What, okay, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay. What do I think about Superman throwing in the towel? Now, Superman didn't throw in the towel. I don't know what everybody's saying. I mean, I did see the video, but I kind of skipped through it. But all he said was he would slow down making videos and go to TikTok, right? But I mean, that's really a smart move. I mean, because I've seen all the other YouTubers, right? I'm not going to name any names, not here to bash anybody, but I've seen lots of people putting out videos about how Bitcoin is going to the moon every single day, every single week, and Bitcoin just stays flat, right? Every single day. So, but I mean, that's the name of the game on YouTube, right? Lots of YouTubers have been using clickbait titles saying Bitcoin to 100,000, Bitcoin to 1 million, Bitcoin to 16,000 every single day, every single week to get you to watch the videos. And it's working, right? Because I mean, that's just marketing, right? People like the hype, the FOMO. But I mean, if you know that Bitcoin is not going to do anything for the next month or so, right, then in a way it's kind of deceptive, right? So maybe Superman, at least from watching that video, he didn't want to participate in clickbait content, especially when crypto was very bearish at that point in time. right? So I totally get it, right? Like even me myself, like people have been saying I've been away, right? Because I mean, you can't force the market, right? You roll with the punches, right? If crypto is going down, you can't come out and say crypto to the moon, right? I mean, hey, I've done that before. I learned my lesson, right? I didn't want to partake in that. So I just focused on other stuff. I was building token metrics, right? And Superman saying he's making content on TikTok. TikTok has been trending, right? Gary Vaynerchuk has been talking about it for years, right? I did join TikTok, right? So join me, Diary of a Made Man on TikTok, but I haven't really used it yet because I was also experimenting with it to see if I should make content on there. But I still like Instagram a lot more. Right now, Instagram is my favorite platform. It's where I'm most active. Instagram stories. So make sure you do follow me on Instagram if you're not following me, right? Diary of a Made Man or Token Metrics. Yeah, actually both. Follow both of us, right? I've been posting previews of Token Metrics on there the whole year, right? So you guys can see what I'm reading, what I'm up to, what I'm, kind of like a life in the day, which is my day is pretty boring. I just listen to audiobooks and basketball and work. Right? But hey, Superman is the homie, right? So whatever he does, I support him, right? So I mean that's all I really have to say. He's the homie. That's the homie. Are you bullish on IEOs? I think at the moment, no, but I do believe in IEOs, right? But with that being said, though, I've never done an IEO, right? This year, I've only made 2 investments, right? Those investments were, I invested in 1101 protocol, which is an Indian blockchain, kind of think Ethereum for India. And I invested for equity in a company called Alchemy Protocol, right? That's Alchemy. Let me actually pull them up here, right? Just for full disclosure. Yeah, alchemy.network. They're building basically decentralized market making, right? They were part of Techstars class for this year, right? So went there, met them in New York City, ended up investing for equity, our first equity investment under 100x Advisors, right? They're working with lots of other companies, right? Ripple's VC arm also invested. So stay tuned on this one. But back to your question though, am I bullish on IEOs? I'm bullish on a good project having an IEO. But IEOs, because here's the thing, guys. Let me peel the curtain and tell you what really happens in IEOs. The IEO hustle is just a hustle for exchanges to make money, right? These exchanges are crushing these projects, right? I spoke with a project recently. They told me exchanges are asking for like 2x the funds raised, right? Some exchanges like that, right? But what happens is the money raised in an IEO is not even going to these projects. It's just going to the exchanges for fees and for market making. So the IEO is really just a GoFundMe for market making. That's all it is, really, right? Most of these projects are not even touching this money. The money goes straight to the exchanges as their fees, right? It's basically a GoFundMe for market making, right? Which is good for liquidity, right? So when the exchanges get the funds, their goal is just to pump up the project, right? That's why you see these projects going up 10x, 20x the first hour, because the market makers for these exchanges, I think, are just pumping it. Then once all the liquidity is gone, it just crashes, wrecked. Right? That's why you always see this FOMO, right? You see this massive run up, right? It basically goes up in an escalator, then comes down crashing in an elevator, right? Like super fast, right? So, I mean, I haven't done an IEO. That's mainly because it was tough and the allocations are very, very small, right? But yeah, I mean, I haven't really done any IEO. Am I bullish on them? I'm bullish and optimistic on the process of IEO, but I feel in the current manner and fashion, they're not good, right? I think exchanges are screwing it up, right? Exchanges have messed up everything. I feel like we have to come up with a better way of doing it. That's not just for the exchanges to make money, right? So stay tuned, right? We're thinking of different ways we can innovate on IEOs, right? That's all I can really say. But that's definitely something down the road, not anytime soon. But I mean, I like the process, but I think exchanges are ruining it. So you could say my answer is kind of neutral on IEOs. But we'll still continue rating IEOs because we did a survey for people on the current Tokenmetrics invite list. And lots of people want us to do IEO reviews. So we'll keep on doing that, right? We'll put out IEO reviews on tokenmetrics.com for you to sign up and join. And yeah, so that's about it on that. What are your current cryptos you're bullish on for the next bull run? I think I already answered this earlier in the video. The guy who asked about top cryptos for 2020. Right? But let's answer it again. Okay, I mean, if the question is, what are the top cryptos for the bull run? Right? Let's see here. I mean, I would have to factor in everything, right? So the same thing I said, right? So we would have to factor in the fundamental grade, the technology grade, and the technical analysis, right? So basically, I would say we would have to look for projects with solid fundamentals and solid technology, and then wait for the TA to turn bullish on those. And that's how we think you're going to find those projects that are going to go to the moon, right? They're going to have good fundamentals and good technology. I'm sure you can have projects with bad fundamentals and bad technology still pump, right? Because I mean, it is crypto, right? But our goal is to make sure if you get into something, you know, okay, this is a good project. Or if you're getting in, you know, okay, this is a bad project. So be ready to hop out any minute because this thing could go straight to zero, right? But looking at this, I mean, still Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Binance, Cosmos, Zcash, right? So the new ones, Cosmos is one to really watch out for, all right? Neo is now in here, right? The Chinese news, all right? Let me see if we have ontology in the system yet. Okay, ontology. Fundamentals and ontology, not so good. Technology is all right. But yeah, I mean, so to answer your question, Bitcoin, Ethereum, okay, no, that's not. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Binance, Cosmos, right? Those are the ones I would be bullish on the next bull run, right? If we extend that out, right? Zcash, Eternity, Neo, Maker, Cardano, right? That's purely taking everything into account. If we're going to look at purely the fundamentals, right? Actually, hold on, let's look at fundamentals greater than, let's do 70. If I can add a filter here. Okay, and then let's filter out the bad tech, right? Let's look at only things with 70%. Okay, all right, so this is a list of the solid projects, right? Okay, hold on. We got to fix this filtration thing. Okay, all right, so looking at that then, now let's sort by grade. So these are the solid projects that have good tech and good fundamentals. right? Meaning above 70%. So at the bottom, actually, let's start at the top. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Binance, Cosmos, Zcash, Eternity, Neo. Eternity got a really good tech grade from Paresh. Very interesting. Neo, Maker, Cardano, Zilliqa, Synthetics Network Token. Okay, very surprising. I think that used to be that that ICO. What was the name? The one from Australia. Anyway, 0x Project, Zcoin, Decred, Stellar, Komodo, Monero, Waves, Amisago, Augur, IOTA, Lisk, and Golem. Okay, so that's the bottom of the list. All right, so I'll probably just do top 10 on this list, right? And then we'll just wait for those that turn bullish, right? So let's add that. Okay, right now there's nothing bullish out of those, right? But when those ones turn bullish, right? Right then I think that's so. If we have to be very, very conservative, we'll take those on that list that have decent fundamentals, decent technology, and wait for the TA to match up as bullish or buy, and then get in, right? So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, next question. Are you bullish on non-crypto stocks? Very good question. Very good question. The stock market has been in a long bull run, right? I'm always, especially after the last year or two in crypto, I'm always bullish in non-crypto. You have to diversify outside of crypto, otherwise you could get wrecked, right? You have to diversify, whether it's in real estate and other things, right? I did look into buying businesses, like small businesses, right? So kind of like private equity, but just more for small businesses with cash flow businesses. I was early in the year, I was looking into that. I read a great book. Let me pull up the book here from Harvard Business Review called How to Buy. I might even have it here somewhere. Okay, maybe I don't. Let me see here. How to Buy Businesses, HBR. All right, so this is the book, right? The HBR Guide to Buying a Small Business. Think big, buy small, own your own company. Great book. Very, very good book, right? So I bought that book, read it, I loved it, right? It kind of teaches you the process of doing research to buy a business. So that's what I was bullish on, but that requires lots of capital. Well, capital to buy the business. Let's say you're going to buy a restaurant, right? But for me, I wasn't really thinking of stuff like that. I was thinking of, okay, next bull run comes, I'm gonna cash out and invest into businesses with positive cash flow, meaning that you get paid every single month, regardless of the market. Right. So that's what I was bullish on, right? The kind of businesses I was thinking of buying or looking into, they varied, but probably in industries or things I wanted to kind of get into or break into or just like. So probably a tech business, maybe like a software development agency or web design agency or like a PR agency. Because I'm thinking if I branch out and I do something, I want to make sure it's something that can empower what I'm already doing, right? So kind of like 1 + 1 = 3, right? So for example, if I buy a PR company, they can do PR for me too, right? Or let's say I buy a law firm, right? Because you guys know lawyers make money, right? They can help me with legal work, right? So kind of those are the things I've been looking into. Like maybe I buy a small law firm, maybe I buy a software development agency that can work with me for whatever. Maybe I buy a production company, right? Because I do make lots of content and videos, right? So things like that, businesses like that, where somebody else is managing the business, you're just a silent investor, right? Well, such a silent owner, you own the whole thing. Those are the ones I was looking into, right? Then I also looked into real estate. I have some friends of mine who they flip homes in Atlanta. Atlanta real estate market is on fire, has been for a while, right? So I think he bought like two homes in Atlanta. That's actually Ugo. Ugo is a landlord in Atlanta. He has like 2 homes. Then I think he partnered with some people where they put up the capital, then somebody else manages the properties and stuff. And the day to day, they just collect their money, right? So those are the things I was looking into, right? Stocks, I haven't really, I mean, my strategy in stocks is twofold, right? I don't own any stocks at the moment. I sold my stocks a long time ago to go all into crypto, but I do plan to go back into stocks in the next bull market, right? When I get cash, I'm going to diversify, right? I'm going to have a really balanced portfolio, right? Now is not the time to go all in on crypto, right? The time is to cash out, right? Taking profits is healthy. Nobody has ever lost money taking profits, right? Just by the definition, profits means you made money, right? So in stocks, I typically only invest in what I know, right? Products I use every single day, right? So my portfolio, I guess my virtual portfolio on Morningstar here, right? My stock portfolio, not financial advice, just my opinion, would actually have done pretty decently if I had actually put money in, right? But just products I actually use, right? So Apple, Amazon, American Airlines, Bank of America, Dropbox, Facebook, Hilton, Marriott, Netflix, Roku. Roku has been on a tear. I love Roku, by the way. I have like 4 Roku devices. Like all my TVs at home are Roku, right? I have the Roku for 4K TV. Oh man, I love that. Like Roku for life, basically. Roku over every other platform. And then the other one, what's this one? I don't even know what this company is. Not sure why it's on here. But yeah, I mean, those are the ones, like, because stocks are boring, right? So I would say only if you're going to do stocks, have maybe two portfolios. One where you pick what you invest in, but you only invest in what you know, products you know and love. And then when you stop loving them, you sell, right? Like right now, I love Roku, right? So if I had a portfolio, I would have some Roku in it, and I would just hodl, right? If Roku starts messing up, I would sell, right? Then the other one, I'll just do an index fund, right? Just standard index fund, nice and boring, right? Keep it simple. S&P 500, whatever, right? And that's really it, right? So those are the only 2 things I can really say, right? I'll just go with the index fund, or if you're going to pick, invest in what you know, right? But in terms of day trading stocks, I mean, I don't have time for that, man, right? So yeah, that's really what I am bullish on. Hope that helps. Okay, next question. Do you think Binance is manipulating or monitoring the coins in their margin portfolio in their favor, thereby hedging against the users borrowing their coins? Wow. Okay, that's a tough question. Okay, let me see how I should answer this. Right, because Binance is a well-known company, right? The biggest exchange in the world. However, I mean, I've heard from several investors and just from people that behind the scenes, Binance is savage, right? They're savages. They're cutthroat, right? Now, I can't really say anything about whether they're manipulating anything because, I mean, I don't have any information to state anything like that, right? Right. So I'm not really trying to slander Binance in any shape or manner, right? However, lots of exchanges in the crypto space are shady, right? They have been known for doing shady tactics. I mean, even recently with the SEC. Oh, no, sorry, was it? No, was it? I think it was the CFTC. No, sorry, it was the New York. Some regulator in New York said Bitfinex was doing some shady stuff with Tether, where they're using it as their bank basically to borrow money or whatever, and that's why Bitfinex had to launch their own token to raise funds to pay back the money they had took. Right, so basically we already noticed publicly that big exchanges have been cooking the books. Right, Bitfinex is in trouble right now. Has not been. There's been no official judgment last time I checked, right? So maybe that's been cleared up, but we know, right? Exchanges have been having issues, and this is crypto, right? There's lots of manipulation in the crypto space, even by well-known companies, right? I know Bixie recently had an issue, right? Where people thought the CEO had gone missing or whatever, or was silent or whatever. I even had some people who worked there that quit the company, right? Over that. So, I mean, with Binance, I can't really say much, but I mean, nothing shocks me right now in crypto. I mean, after a while, nothing shocks you in crypto, right? So this is why I think regulation is needed in crypto. It's good because there's lots of shady stuff going on, right? There are lots of, especially with projects, right? I mean, these exchanges, I know the IEO space is corrupt, right? So all I can say is I don't think Binance US is manipulating because I mean they're in the US. So I think they're playing nice in the US. Now the non-US Binance, that I don't know, right? So I can't really say anything like that, right? Maybe that's why Binance won't do an AMA with me because I keep it 100, right? I ask the tough questions, but are they manipulating coins on their margin portfolio? Right, I can definitely say I think other exchanges are doing it, right? So here's the thing, right? I'm not sure how the regulation goes with exchanges like this, especially it depends on their jurisdiction, right? So I would say exchanges in those sketchy, unknown countries you never heard of, right? They're probably doing that, right? If an exchange says they're incorporated in a country you've never heard of, they're probably cooking the books, right? This is just my hunch, right? Not speculating, me just purely speculating, not trying to slander anybody, but yeah, if it smells sketchy, it's probably sketchy, right? And yeah, I mean, this is very tough to comment on, right? But because I think the regulations matter, because in some countries that could be allowed, right? Some, like I know in even in America, in traditional markets, right? Like here, like on Wall Street, broker dealers, exchanges, right? I'm not sure about NASDAQ, but I know, like, let's say Goldman Sachs, right? Goldman Sachs can institutionally trade for institutions and clients, right? Then they can also have their own accounts, right? Like as a broker dealer, because I've been looking into this when I was taking my Series 65 exam, a broker dealer can also trade for their own account, right? So as a broker dealer, basically you can broker deals, right? Let's say you're doing OTC, right? Let's say you're Goldman Sachs or whatever, right? A client comes to you, wants to buy shares in a particular stock, right? You can fill that order, right? You can market make, you can do whatever, but you can also have your own accounts, right? So this is really maybe a question for market makers, right? Because I know exchanges have their own market making divisions, right? And market makers are broker dealers, and broker dealers can trade for their own account, right? And that's why regulation is crucial. That's why in the US, the SEC is really stringent on this, right? Because they want to know what's happening. They want everything to be audited and stuff and know what's happening, because let's say an exchange has a market making division that's market making and trading their own accounts as well, then they could do that, right? They could be monitoring the margin in a portfolio and hedge against it in their own account, right? And that could be, and that's totally legal in the US in some parts, right? And some parts of the world, right? But the question is, it has to be regulated, right? Because if they're doing anything shady, the regulators wouldn't want to know about that, right? That's why I think the question really depends on what jurisdiction they're in, right? So that's why I said Binance US, if they're in the US and they're regulated, right? If they have their own market making division, yes, they could be trading and hedging against the users, but that could be fair game, right? But it's being done in a regulated and compliant fashion, right? And that's really all I can say, all right? But I'm definitely curious to see what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right. How many questions do we have left? Oh man, guys, we have a ton of questions. This is going to be a long live stream. I've been on for 2 hours, but hey guys, Tokenmetrics limited launch, might as well, right? Be sure to subscribe to our Tokenmetrics YouTube channel and retweet and share this video with all your friends. Share it in Telegram. Let them know Tokenmetrics is coming. Okay, let me see. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of questions today. All right. What do you think about Tezos tokenizing real estate? I mean, I don't think it's really big news. I mean, people have been tokenizing real estate. I mean, that's what Propi did a while back, right? And that didn't really move the needle much. That's what there've been lots of real estate projects that failed. Real estate is on a blockchain, tokenizing that and trading it and trying to speculate on that is dead. Now, tokenizing projects, tokenizing real estate as a security, I think that's not dead. I think that's the future, right? But we're still far away from that. So that's really all I can say on that. How do we sign up for Tokenmetrics? And what is your view on Kin token? Okay, yeah, so to join Tokenmetrics, just go to Tokenmetrics. Well, actually, you can't join yet, but go to tokenmetrics.com, right? Best domain name ever. Put in your email, right? Subscribe for updates. Put in your name, your email address, all that good stuff. And we will send out email communication when we're ready, right? We're planning to launch by the end of the month, right? So assuming there are no hiccups, right? This is a limited launch, meaning that this is not for everybody, right? So let me kind of show you we'll have different tiers in Tokenmetrics, right? We'll have a basic plan, which we'll be giving away for free, right? So basic plan will give you access to Bitcoin, right? So you can view the details of Bitcoin, everything on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is king, right? Price predictions on Bitcoin, all that, right? Then we'll give you the top 20 market cap ratings, right? So based on what we have here, not based on coin market cap, right? So we'll give it 20 tokens. You can view their grade, right? So that's what we're giving away for free for the first 1 year to the first 1,000 people that sign up, right? First come, first serve, right? So they may be some FOMO, right? But they first come, first serve. Then we'll have other tiers for premium plans. We'll have an investor plan, which will give you, before that one, we'll have the hodler plan, which will be the top 20, but you can view the actual details and everything, right? We'll give you the fundamental analysis, right? Like for those who want to actually view the details, fundamental analysis, technology, the TA, the real-time TA, once that's good to go, right? Performance metrics. Then the next portion will be the investor plan, right? The investor plan will give you top 100, right? So we'll give you 100, and it will give you the machine learning. It will give you the price predictions, all that jazz, right? I think the price prediction is probably what most people are going to want because people are always asking about the price, right? And it will be the 100 tokens, right? Then we'll have the professional plan, which will give you everything outside the top 100, right? Those are for the professional investors. Maybe you're doing this full time, you're an angel, maybe you have a fund, right? For those who want to seed tokens before they blow up, right? Those unknown projects. Then the investor plan, the one before that, also has the IEOs. We'll have the IEO reviews in there and stuff, right? But yeah, so those are the different plans. Then you said Kin token. Okay, let me pull up. I'm not sure if we have Kin. Yeah, I don't think we finished putting in our ratings for Kin. Yeah, we haven't finished rating Kin, so ignore that because Kin hasn't really done much, right? All we can really pull up for it are performance metrics. Yeah, right? Wrecked, right? Sorry to anybody who's holding Kin, no offense. I was an early investor in Kin. I was part of their ICO, but I took the L and just left after like 6 months, maybe 12 months, right? But yeah, it's poorly underperformed Bitcoin by every single measure, right? Let me see which one is Bitcoin is on the right, right? So month to date is down 3%. 3 months to date, 63%, 91%. Yeah, down over 90%. All time down negative 99.4%. Yeah, so I mean, so basically Kin is dead. I mean, RIP Kin. Right? I know they had legal issues as well, but I mean, yeah, Kin did not live up to the hype, unfortunately. Right. So my personal opinion, Kin is dead. Right. Well, or rather, the Kin token is dead. Right. So I mean, I would definitely would not have that in my portfolio at all right now. Right. I would just, if I had Kin, this is just for me, not personal, not financial advice to anybody, but I would sell, lock in the loss, put that on my taxes, speak with a professional tax person, CPA, tell them, hey, you know, that's a loss, that's an L, right? Sometimes you have to take your L's in stride. Hi, Ian, will you stake Ether? Are you staking anything else long-term that you believe in? And thoughts on Sovereign? Have you looked into Constellation? Ticket is DAG, partnership with USAF. This sounds like Barry. Hey, Barry, how are you? Will I stake Ether? I mean, maybe, right? Ether is great, right? This is not news to anybody, right? Fundamentals are great. Technology is great. We're just waiting for the TA to line up, right? But Ethereum is solid, creme de la creme, right? And that's something you can write down. And the only thing I'm staking right now is some MetaHash. I'm still staking that, but MetaHash has been getting pummeled, man, pummeled, right? I mean, damn. I mean, just when you think it can't go lower, it keeps going lower, right? But yeah, other than that, not really staking anything, right? The only thing I've been staking is hard fiat, cash, cash money, right? But other than that, not been staking anything. Thoughts on Sovereign. I think we put Sovereign into our system here. Let me see here. So we're not fully done rating. We're not done rating Sovereign at all, right? So the info we had on it, we just had some basic info, right? But we haven't really gone through and rated it yet. But I mean, I would expect it to have decent fundamentals, right? The technology may be decent. I haven't looked at it yet, but once we do, it will be here, right? It'll be available to people who are on the platform. So be sure to subscribe, tokenmetrics.com. Then Constellation. Okay, ticket is dying. I don't think we had that in the system yet, right? But we are working on a way for us to have the community submit projects they would like us to look at, right? This will be just for people on the platform, right? So stay tuned. That's something we're working on, right? So that's all I can really say to answer your question, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. At what price would you sell all your BTC and never look back? 100K, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. Oh man, oh man. Well, I mean, just based on the answer, I have to say 100 million. If Bitcoin is at 100 million, man, I would never look back. Right? If one Bitcoin is worth 100 million, I mean, I'll buy the world. Right? So, but in all seriousness, I mean, I think if it's at the, I don't think you sell everything, right? Because that's never the right move. It's never the right move to sell anything. You have to gradually exit, right? Kind of like how you gradually scale into a position, you have to gradually get out. I mean, because what if it keeps on going to 1 billion, right? You don't want to be that person who sold everything, right? Even back in the 2017 ICO mania, right? I never sold everything with an ICO. I would gradually sell on the way up, right? Like for example, with Icon, I personally invested $20,000 during the private sale at 12 cents. Icon went all the way to like $12, right? 100x. I turned $20,000 to over $2 million, but I didn't sell everything. I know some people who sold Icon the first week at 20x, right? And they felt pretty bad. I mean, they still made money, but for me, I never do that, right? I would gradually sell, right? So I sold some when it opened up at like 20x. So my rule back then was, if it's above 3x, sell your initial investment. And then as it's going up, sell portions. So right, sell maybe 20% every 5-10x, right? And then as it's going up, you keep selling some, right? So with Bitcoin, right, if it was going up like that, I would definitely take some profits, right? I would only sell 10, 20%, right? Each leg up, but you have to, it varies with each investor, right? It also depends on, do you need the money, right? If you're trying to pay off student loans, mortgage, bills, buy a new business, do a new venture, travel the world, whatever, then take some money off, right? So I would say have a fund for your goals, your dreams, and then as it's going up, whatever money you need, sell some and fund that, right? But if you, let's say you want to buy a house, and a house is $500,000 in whatever place you're in, right? In the US, right? And Bitcoin goes up, get $500,000, pay off the house, right? If that's all you need, that's all you need, right? If everything else is good, ride it out, right? But definitely watch it and see how it's performing, right? But yeah, so I think that's really the best way. You want to gradually scale in, gradually scale out. You never go all in or all out, right? That's how you get left on the sidelines, right? When it keeps on going, right? Or maybe when it goes down, right? So it's definitely a tough thing to manage, but that's why we're building the platform Tokenmetrics, right? To help you know all these things, right? So imagine if you're trying to buy a house and you say, okay, I gotta sell some BTC, right? Should I sell now? You log into tokenmetrics.com into your account, right? That would be the investor plan. No, sorry, for anybody will have free access to Bitcoin, right? Price predictions. So you come in here and you say, okay, cool. Where's Bitcoin headed in the next month? Okay, it's going to be pretty neutral. Okay, maybe maybe I hodl. Maybe if I need the money now, maybe I sell. But if it says Bitcoin is going down in the next 30 days, obviously not financial advice, but maybe you want to take some money off the table, right? Just in case, right? If the accuracy is pretty consistent, you probably want to take some money off the table, right? If it says Bitcoin is going up next month, okay, maybe you become a slightly more patient, right? You don't sell everything, right? So it's there's an ebb and flow to it. All right. So that should answer your question. Have you looked into Reserve? Peter Thiel invested for tokens and possibly going on Coinbase, one at $100 million market cap. Yeah, I mean, there were winners of our Crypto World Tour at Consensus, right? Nevin Freeman, the CEO, was there. Also met him in Osaka, Japan, for during Ethereum DevCon. We also had an interview with him early in the year, so definitely aware of Reserve. I'm not sure if we have them in the system here. Yeah, I don't think we have them yet because we're focused on the top 100 market cap initially. But yeah, I mean, we definitely looked into it. We'll have our full official score on it later on. But yeah, we're definitely aware of it. How does BTC not have 100% grade on your spreadsheet? Why only 98%? That's kind of bearish. Well, no, not really. I mean, nothing is perfect, man. Nothing is perfect, right? So if we go here, right? So fundamentals and technology, right? So if we look at the fundamentals of Bitcoin, well, I mean, first of all, I think probably because it's anonymous. Satoshi is anonymous. Let's see here. Okay, scarcity, deflationary, no token burn, right? I mean, because we factor in several data points, right? So nothing is going to have everything, right? Nothing can be perfect, right? But what was the other one? Team is good, security is good, reputation, and yeah, reputation. Let's see here. Right. I mean, it's because there isn't really a public face to it, right? Kind of like you got to have a hype man, right? You got to have somebody to, yes, I know Bitcoin is decentralized, whatever, but we think, especially now because the market has changed, right? It helps to have somebody out there who can, right? Because they had the whole governance issue with the Bitcoin forks and everything, right? That's because anybody can claim they're a Bitcoin, right? That's why we have the whole Craig Wright issue, right? Because Bitcoin is for everybody, right? But hey, despite that, it's still the best project fundamentally, right? Then tech-wise, solid, right? The only thing was the architecture, and yeah, but everything else is solid, right? So, I mean, nothing is going to have 100% anymore, right? I think we're kind of past that, right? Nothing is going to be totally perfect, right? But fundamentally sound and technology, right? From the fundamental perspective, Bitcoin is the best, has the best fundamentals, followed by Ethereum, right? Then technology-wise, Bitcoin is tied with Ethereum, right? So, I mean, that's as good as it gets, right? So, I mean, that's why Bitcoin is the reserve currency for the crypto world. So I wouldn't take that as a bearish sign, right? Only if the TA, right? But even now, right? Right now we're bullish on Bitcoin, right? So because we're taking everything into account, right? So right now we're bullish on Bitcoin. Okay, I may have to go and have some dinner. Okay, how do we get access to tokenmetrics.com? So this is the idea, right? So it's going to be a limited launch. right? Similar to, for those who are familiar with my Patreon when I launched it, right? We're going to give 1,000 people access to the basic plan. Then we'll give a lot less people access to the other plans, right? But the idea is to have less than 2,000 people on the platform, test it out, right? This is kind of like a beta. Get feedback from you guys, fine tune, right? See if the models are working, see if people are making money. I mean, right? And then if that's good, then we'll scale it up and bring in more people, right? But right now we can't open this to the whole world, have people come in, right? Because we're still building. We're making updates every single day, every week, every month, right? So right now this is kind of like a beta test, right? So we want people who have been there, crypto family who's been there since the beginning, supporting us at tokenmetrics.com. We want you guys to have early access, right? So if you're on the email list, we'll send out lots of emails, right? Just make sure the emails from Tokenmetrics are not going to spam. Otherwise, you may end up not getting access, unfortunately. So make sure you're getting the emails, all right? We haven't sent out any emails in a while, but we'll send them out this month, right? The email, we'll send out an email letting you know when the date is going to be, right? We'll give you a heads up. We'll give you 24 hours heads up, right? So it won't be like you're racing to go to your computer to sign up. No, we don't want that. We'll give you 24-hour notification, and then we'll send an email once it's live and we're ready to go, right? And then you guys can sign up. Then we're gonna cap it, right? Once it caps at a particular number, that's it, right? Then those people will basically be like the first class, right? Crypto family. And those who sign up for the premium plans, right? For the annual plans, because we'll have different tiers, to be for the premium plans, meaning the paid plans. Those who sign up for a full year will get a lifetime discount. So stay tuned to learn more about that. But for the early supporters who sign up, right, for the paid plans, you'll get a lifetime discount, as much as anywhere from 40 to 50% off for the rest of your life. So when the other people come in, eventually, as we scale up, right, and we end up opening it up to everybody, you will always have that discount for life, right, for the support, crypto family in the house, right? So stay tuned on that. We're working on the information. I'm thinking of even maybe doing like a webinar for people to kind of like this, but just a private one, to come in and just ask questions, and we can kind of walk them and really tell the story of how, and show people how it works, right? So I may do something like that. I'm not sure yet, right? I may not have time because we are getting close to Thanksgiving here in the States, right? So looking forward to that turkey and gravy and that feast, right? And then we'll have Christmas holidays coming around, right? But yeah, so back to your question. To get access, just make sure your email has been entered on tokenmetrics.com, and make sure you have subscribed to our Telegram group, right? That is, just search for Tokenmetrics, right? The alerts channel, right? So here on the website, down here at the bottom, right? Click this little chat icon, right? Right, and this takes you to our Telegram group. We'll also put out some information there. We may post some stuff on the blog, but the two main places you have to be on are email list or the Telegram group, or probably both, right? Because that's where we send out our communications, right? So definitely make sure you're following us on all the social media, right? So our Tokenmetrics YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, right? But yeah, so that's kind of the idea. We're planning to bring in 1,000 to 2,000 people, right? 1,000 for the basic plan, the free plan, then the premium plans. That one we can't let in everybody, just kind of based on how things are, right? We want to kind of keep some stuff constrained and not have everybody. Because one thing I learned with the spreadsheet, right? The feedback I received a lot was it got so popular that nobody could invest, all right? Because as soon as I put something there, it would sell out, right? People couldn't get deals, couldn't get access to invest or whatever, right? So one thing I've kind of come to terms with is we have to keep the circle small, right? Otherwise, if everybody can get in, then the allocation amounts would shrink to like pennies, right? But now with Tokenmetrics, though, it's kind of different, right? Because this isn't really just for IEOs. We're doing tokens that are trading already. So they're on exchanges already. But at the same time, right, we have to keep information in a small circle because we aren't trying to influence the market too much, right? Because yes, I mean, there's some things we can't control, right? But we definitely want to make sure that the right people, at least on the platform, have a chance to get in early before everybody else, right? So if you're subscribed to Tokenmetrics, and we say, like last week, right, guys? So last week, Verge did really well, right? Guess what? Our machine learning model was at that time was very bullish on Verge. I think it was Verge, I think. Okay, maybe it wasn't Verge. I think it was Decred. Yeah, I think it was Decred. Right, ignore this. But last week, Artea was very bullish on this, right? Now, maybe not so much, right? But last week we had Decred was one of the bullish tokens we had, right? So for this week, this is purely just the trading indicators, right? This is not looking at everything else. This is for quick flips, basically, right? So this is not long-term investment advice. This is not any kind of investment advice. This is just us sharing financial opinion, right? Saying trading indicators, it's just saying BAT, BitTorrent, Ardor are bullish. Yeah, these other ones we don't really have much info on, but these are the ones where the trading indicator says, okay, this is good. Then Ardor here as well. Okay, so I would definitely write those down, put them on a watch list if you're a trader, right? Let's see how the AI performs. If it performs well, come back next week. Let us know in the description below, right? If it doesn't, hey, just keep our name out your mouth. No, I'm kidding. You guys are always welcome. All right, but yeah, it's been 2.5 hours. It's been a long live stream, just like the good old days. But hey, if you guys liked it, let us know. Be sure to subscribe, right? We're back in business. As you can tell by the long live streams, we're planning to have these live streams regularly every Sunday, just like the good old days. An hour, maybe even longer, every single week, every single Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's New York time for those who are global. Just convert that to whatever time you're in. But yeah, I mean, Tokenmetrics is coming. Limited launch is coming. Ian Bellina is still here. Our team is still here. Bill Noble, Sam Monarch, Paresh Mansani, right? That being said, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe, share with your friends, let them know blockchain is back. And I'll end with the typical slogan: the moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond. Until next time, guys. Bye.